colleagues. I'm Jennifer Payne. I'm an academic advisor at the University of Mississippi. And in my spare time, I teach yoga, Pilates, and barre classes. So we thought that during this pandemic, it would be great to offer some self-care. So I have a short 30-minute yoga session that I'd like to share with you, and I hope that you find the benefits incorporating that into your professional and personal lives during this time. So we'll be sharing this, and it's entitled Yoga 101, Yoga for Beginners. So go ahead and find a seated position, comfortable seated position. Stacking that spine tall, relaxing through the shoulders. And you can place the hands on the knees. You can do palms down or palms up, whatever is most comfortable. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and allow the eyes to gently close, or if you're more comfortable with a light gaze, feel free to do that as well. Just taking this moment here at the beginning to center and turning that gaze inward. Taking a moment to notice how you feel, not trying to change anything, but just allowing yourself to be present. Engaging in this 30 minutes of self-care. Try to just put aside anything that's going on in your mind, any to-do lists that you have for the day. And just allow this 30 minutes to be engaged in the act of self-care. Starting from the top of the head, taking a gentle scan using your mind's eye throughout your body. Noticing any areas that you might be holding on to tension or stress. Begin to bring some awareness to the quality of your breath. Noticing if it's shallow or deep. And begin to lengthen your breath. And inhale, feeling the chest rise. Exhale, open mouth. Couple more breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Allowing the body to become more relaxed with each exhale. One more deep breath. Gently opening the eyes, finding that soft gaze. On an inhale, gently bringing that chin to the chest. And inhale, bringing that gaze toward the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest. Inviting in that motion, connecting the breath to the movement. Couple more breaths. Coming back to center. Taking a breath. Exhale, bringing that right ear to the right shoulder. Relaxing. Finding that deep stretch here to the left trap. Bring the head back to center. And inhale, finding length. Exhale, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Finding that stretch through the right trap. One more time on each side. Be connecting with your breath. Think about an intention, what brought you to the mat today. And back to center. Go ahead and bring that chin to chest. Go ahead and take a little circle with the neck, starting off small. And if you feel like you have more mobility, feel free to increase the size of the circle. And then wherever you are, go ahead and change directions. And coming back to center. Again, relaxing through the shoulders. On an inhale, sweeping the arms high. And exhale, relax. Couple more times. It's great to incorporate back into your day whenever we go back into the office, taking a few moments. Close your door and just connect with your breath. On an inhale, bringing the arms up, bringing that left arm to the right knee, bringing the other arm behind. On an inhale, elongate the spine. On an exhale, twisting. Couple more breaths. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, to twist. Coming back to the center. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bringing that right hand to the left knee. On an inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale to twist. Pulling the abdominals in. Bringing that gaze over the left shoulder. And coming back to center. Sweeping the legs to the side. Pressing up into tabletop. Spreading the fingertips nice and wide on the mat. Shoulders stacked over wrists and hips over knees. Finding that tabletop. On an inhale, lower the belly, lifting the hips and the gaze. On an exhale, bringing that navel up into the spine, arching through the back, finding cat. On an inhale, alternating between these two postures of flexion and extension, matching the breath to the movement. On an inhale, finding cow pose. And on the exhale, finding cat. Couple more rounds of breath. Finding the flexion and extension of the spine. Coming back to neutral. This time, squeezing that oblique, bringing the gaze toward the back. Coming through the center, squeezing that left oblique. Also called wagging your dog. Finding that stretch through the core. And coming back to center. Bringing the hands one palm print forward. Tucking the toes under. Lifting the hips high. Finding downward facing dog. Option to pedal out the heels. Wakening up those hamstrings and calves. And then eventually settling into some stillness. Pulling that navel up into the spine, finding that inverted V shape. On an inhale, coming up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, lowering the heels back toward the mat. Taking a couple breaths here. Gently lowering those knees to the mat. Bring them a little wider than hip width distance. Connecting the big toes to touch. And then sinking the hips back toward the heels for child's pose. Resting that forehead gently on the mat. Reconnecting with that breath on the inhale. Feel the belly rise. Exhale. Feel it rest in between the thighs. Take several deep breaths here. Option to leave the arms out in front, or you could bring them around, resting next to the body, wherever is most comfortable for you today. Inhale, exhale, let it all out. Gently walking the fingertips over to the right side, finding that C curve in the left side of the body. Walking the hands through the center, bringing them over to the right side. Walking them back to the center, pressing into that tabletop position. Once again, walking those hands forward, tucking the toes, lifting the hips back into downward facing dog. Should feel a little bit more relaxed in this posture. Pulling that navel up. Option to bring that right foot forward, making sure that knees tracking directly over the ankle. And you're welcome to readjust this depending on your body. You can stay here, or you can walk up, or bringing the arms high in this lunge, taking that nice stretch. It can feel really good after sitting at the desk for a long time. Bringing the hands back down. Go ahead and take that counter stretch, lengthening out that leg, flexing those toes back toward the shin. Walking yourself back into that stretch. Option to bring the hands up. And then float them back down. Tucking those left toes under. Let's walk ourselves back out to downward facing dog. And then bringing that left knee forward, bringing that knee down. Once again, make sure that knee is tracking directly over that ankle. Option to bring the arms up or to the hips, finding this stretch. Bringing the hands down, taking that counter stretch, bringing that leg straight, flexing those toes back. And gently walking back into that lunge. Bringing the hands back down. Tucking those right toes under. Sending that leg back into that downward facing dog. Gently walking those feet up toward the hands. Finding this forward fold. On an inhale, halfway lift, finding that flat back. Exhale to fold. Couple more times, finding that length in the back. And exhale. One more time. Taking a slight bend into the knees, grabbing opposite elbows. Finding that forward fold, maybe even taking a gentle sway from side to side. Just letting the body hang. And then taking a wide-legged forward fold. Bringing the hands out front. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Walking the hands over toward the right foot, finding that stretch in the left side body. Walking the hands through the center, over to the left. Walking hands back to the center. This time, option to reach in, finding that deep stretch. Feeling it in the back of the legs. Walking those hands underneath the shoulders, directly underneath. Bringing that left hand to the center. On an inhale, sweeping that right arm high, finding that twist. And exhale. And then bringing that left arm up. And release. Taking this a few rounds here, finding that deep stretch in the hips. Twisting through the core. Once more on either side. And then gently heel toe the legs back together. Finding that forward fold on an inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale to fold. Once more. Coming up onto the balls of the feet, bending through the knees, coming back down onto your mat. Sending the legs out, stacking that spine, extending the arms out forward, pulling that navel up and in as you slowly transition your way down to the mat, keeping the core nice and activated. On an inhale, extending those arms and legs long, taking a full body stretch. Extending the arms down next to the body, walking those legs up, bringing the feet about hip width distance. Go ahead and windshield wiper the knees. Coming back to center. If you have a strap or a band nearby, this would be a good time to use it, or a belt would be good, or you don't have to have a prop to do the exercises. So extending that right leg high, go ahead and let that left leg go all the way down to the ground, keeping the hips grounded, facing toward the ceiling, bringing that, walking that right leg, through the center, finding that IT band stretch in the right leg. Taking some deep breaths. Walking it back through the center, opening up to the side. Once again, keeping that hip grounded, the left hip grounded as the right hip opens up. Bringing the leg back toward the center. The left leg meets the right. Gently guide that leg through the center, finding that IT band in the left leg, keeping that hip grounded. Nice, deep, steady breaths. Guiding that leg through the center, gently opening it up to the left, keeping that right hip grounded. Bringing it back to the center, gently removing that wrap. Bringing the right knee into the chest, extending that left leg all the way down. Bringing that knee into the body. With the left arm, guide that right knee across. Stacking the hands as you open up into that T shape. Work on keeping both shoulders grounded. Finding this supine twist, maybe bringing the gaze over the right fingertips. And then bringing the body back to center. The left knee comes into the body, extending that right leg all the way down. Hugging that leg into the body. Using that right hand, guiding the left knee across. Once again, stacking. Bringing the arms into a T. Bringing that gaze over the left fingertips. Pressing the body back to center. Bringing both knees into the body. Go ahead and roll gently from side to side. Massaging through that lower back. Option to reach for the inner arches of the feet. Pressing the knees back and down, finding happy baby pose. One of my personal favorites. And then whenever you're ready, gently extending those legs long onto the mat. Bringing the arms next to the body, palms facing the ceiling, finding our final resting pose of Shavasana. And taking a few moments here. Just let your body be present, allowing the mind to rest. Reconnecting to your breath. Inviting some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Rolling through the wrists and the ankles. Sweeping the arms overhead, taking one more full body stretch. And then gently rolling over to either side. Bringing the knees up into the body. Placing that right hand on the mat. Resting yourself gently up into that comfortable seated position. Stacking that spine. And inhale, sweeping the arms high. Exhale, release. Twice more. This time connecting at the top, pulling those fingertips down into the heart center. And thank you for joining me today. I hope that you can take this practice with you throughout your day, hopefully relieving any stress that we're feeling. Thank you again. Namaste.